Capricorn, there is someone who hasn't felt truly at peace for a long time. Someone who lies awake at night replaying moments they once dismissed. Someone whose confidence has quietly collapsed under the weight of a realization they can no longer escape. This person is thinking about you. Not casually, not nostalgically, but with a heavy, uncomfortable awareness that something irreversibly valuable was lost the moment they chose to underestimate you. They didn't expect this feeling. They never imagined they would be the one carrying regret. They believed they were the one who walked away stronger, smarter, more in control. But the universe has a way of correcting false confidence. And right now, that correction is happening. You are not hearing this to feed revenge. You are not hearing this so you can feel superior. You are hearing this because what I'm about to reveal will bring you the kind of closure that doesn't come from apologies, explanations, or second chances. It comes from knowing that life itself has answered on your behalf. Because when cosmic justice unfolds the way it is unfolding now, it doesn't just resolve the past. It clears space in your present. It removes invisible weight from your path. And it unlocks doors that were blocked not by your lack of effort, but by unresolved energy tied to someone who failed to value you. Take a moment. When you read the title of this message, a face appeared in your mind. Maybe more than one. Someone who questioned your worth. Someone who doubted your vision. Someone who benefited from your discipline, your loyalty, your consistency, and still treated you as if you were replaceable. Capricorn, you don't forget easily. Not because you hold grudges, but because you invest deeply. When you commit with your time, your patience, your long-term thinking. You don't give pieces of yourself casually. And that's why what happened affected you more than you ever admitted. For a long time, you may have wondered if you were too serious, too focused, too reserved. You may have asked yourself if you should have been more expressive, more flexible, more forgiving. You replayed conversations quietly in your mind. You analyzed decisions. You questioned whether your standards were too high or your expectations too firm. And yet, through all of this, you carried your pain silently. Because that's who you are. You don't collapse publicly. You don't seek validation loudly. You endure. You carry weight without asking anyone to notice. But here is the truth you need to hear clearly. The problem was never your seriousness. The problem was never your boundaries. The problem was never your depth. The problem was that the person who doubted you lacked the maturity to recognize the value of someone who builds for the long term. And now, they are beginning to understand exactly what they lost. For some Capricorns born between December 22nd and December 31st, the person feeling regret now is someone from your professional or leadership environment. Someone who questioned your authority, dismissed your ideas, or underestimated your ability to carry responsibility. For those born between January 1st and January 10th, it's someone from a relationship or deep emotional connection. Someone who walked away when the road became serious, when commitment was required, when stability replaced excitement. And for Capricorns born between January 11th and January 19th, it's a family member or close associate. Someone who judged you harshly, misunderstood your silence, or assumed your strength meant you didn't need support. No matter who it is, the realization they're experiencing now feels the same. They lost something they cannot replace. Capricorn, let me tell you something about how the universe operates. There is an invisible law that governs effort, loyalty, and integrity. What you build with sincerity carries weight. And when someone benefits from that sincerity and treats it carelessly, the cost they pay is not immediate, but it is precise. The universe doesn't rush. It waits until the lesson can no longer be avoided. The person who doubted you isn't just feeling regret. They are living inside the consequences of their decision. They are facing instability where you once provided structure. They are facing inconsistency where you once offered reliability. They are facing chaos where you once brought order. And the most unsettling part for them is this. They know exactly why it's happening. They may try to rationalize it. They may tell themselves they made the best decision at the time. They may pretend they've moved on. But late at night, when distractions fade, the truth surfaces. They remember how you showed up without being asked, how you stayed when others left, how you planned when others improvised, how you believed in progress when others chased shortcuts. They remember how safe things felt with you. And that memory has become heavy, because now they are navigating a world filled with people who promise easily and disappear just as fast. People who talk big but deliver little. People who collapse under pressure. And in the middle of that instability, they think of you. Not romantically, not nostalgically, but with a painful clarity. They threw away the one person who could have helped them build something real. This is not coincidence. This is energetic consequence. Capricorn, when someone underestimates you, they don't just misunderstand you. They disrupt an energetic balance. You gave consistency. You gave effort. You gave long-term vision. That energy didn't disappear when the connection ended. It remained. And now, that energy is returning, not to them, but to you. For a long time, you may have felt heavier than usual, as if something unfinished was following you, as if no matter how much progress you made, something remained unresolved. That feeling came from an energetic tie that was still active. When someone hurts you deeply, especially someone you trusted to respect your effort, a cord is created, a silent connection that holds fragments of your energy. The regret and internal collapse that person is experiencing right now is acting like a release mechanism. The cord is being cut, and when it fully dissolves, you will feel it. You will notice a sudden clarity, a surge of motivation, a renewed sense of direction. Not because anything external changed, but because what was draining you no longer exists. This is the mini-climax most people miss. The justice you were waiting for doesn't arrive with confrontation. It arrives with freedom. You won't feel the need to explain yourself anymore. You won't feel the urge to be understood by those who never tried to understand you. You will simply move forward, lighter. Capricorn, you need to understand something fundamental about your worth. When you commit completely. When you build with intention. When you give loyalty, it is not conditional or temporary. These qualities are rare, and rarity often goes unrecognized by those who chase convenience. The person who doubted you received stability and treated it as ordinary. They received discipline and mistook it for rigidity. They received commitment and assumed it would always be there. Now they live in the absence of those things. They face uncertainty daily. They question their decisions. They feel the weight of responsibility without the support they once had. And slowly, painfully, they realize something. They didn't lose you because you were inadequate. They lost you because they were unprepared. Capricorn, when you walk away, you don't do it impulsively. You try. You endure. You adjust. But when you finally close a door, it is permanent. And the person who underestimated you feels that permanence now. They know there is no second chance, no restart, no rebuilding. And that realization has created a deep internal collapse. Their regret has layers. On the surface, it's embarrassment, the awareness that they misjudged someone strong. Below that, it's self-criticism, the recognition that they lacked vision. And at the deepest level, it's grief. Grief for the future they could have built with you. Grief for the stability they no longer have. Grief for the version of themselves that could have grown alongside you. They try to hide it. They pretend they're fine. They act as if you were just another chapter. But alone, the truth confronts them. What if I had trusted her leadership? What if I had stayed when things got serious? What if I had valued him before it was too late? These questions don't bring comfort. They bring awareness. And awareness is the universe's most effective teacher. For you, Capricorn, this means validation. Not the kind that comes from an apology. Not the kind that requires acknowledgement. But the kind that settles quietly inside you. You were not wrong. You were not too much. You were not asking for too much. You were offering something rare to someone who couldn't hold it. As this energetic cycle closes, pay attention to the signs. You may think about this person, but without emotional charge. You may dream about them, but the dreams feel final, distant, complete. You may even receive an indirect attempt at contact, and you will feel nothing. No anger, no curiosity, no desire to reopen what has ended. That neutrality is your freedom. Capricorn, there is something the universe wants you to understand. You are not a victim. You were a standard. You entered that person's life to show them what consistency looks like, what loyalty feels like, what building something real requires. And now that lesson has been delivered. Your role is complete. This doesn't minimize the pain you carried. It doesn't justify how you were treated, but it transforms the meaning of it. You were not chosen to suffer. You were chosen to demonstrate value. And once someone experiences real value and loses it, nothing that comes after will ever feel the same. You became the reference point. Every time they face instability, they think of you. Every time someone fails to follow through, they remember how reliable you were. Every time they feel overwhelmed, they recall how grounded things felt when you were present. You are the quiet comparison that follows them. Not because you haunt them intentionally, but because authenticity leaves a permanent imprint. And you, Capricorn, will heal completely. You will attract people who respect your discipline, people who admire your vision, people who value long-term commitment. And when that happens, you will understand why this loss was necessary. Because had you stayed where you were undervalued, you would never have stepped into the life that now awaits you. In the coming period, you will notice something shift. People listen to you more. Your presence carries more authority. Opportunities align with less resistance. Not because you changed, but because the weight you were carrying is gone. The person who doubted you will watch from a distance as you build something meaningful. And you won't even notice. That is the truest form of victory. The universe is preparing to give you more than you lost. And when it arrives, you will finally see that what once felt like rejection was actually redirection. Capricorn, someone is carrying regret for underestimating you. And that regret is cosmic justice confirming what you always knew. You were never ordinary. You were always valuable. And you were always meant for more. If this message resonated with you, it's because it was meant for you. And what you've just received is only the beginning.